Days on the market stubbornly high at 73. That's one of the higher ones that we've seen in all of the reports that we report on, which is up 14% month over month, and look at that, up 40% year over year.
It's a very affordable market to be a part of. It's one of the biggest reasons why we report on it, because it's an easy market for new investors to jump into.
This is the market where you want to buy an $85,000 house, put 20 into it, and then rent it back out. Not in a C-class neighborhood in Indy. This is the market that you want to do it in.
Let's jump into our market report and take a quick look at what's happening in Anderson, Indiana. We'll cover where rents are trending, how quickly homes are moving, and what rental owners and investors should be paying attention to right now. Let's dive into our Anderson market report.
All right, Chris, let's dive into the Anderson market report for May of 2026. Let's start with the rental data. I think we may have jinxed ourselves, Chris, because we were just bragging last month about how it's been so consistent and so consistent and so consistent at that $1,100 a month. And look here, we have a little bit of a blip. It's like flinching on us, So we took a slight decrease from $1,100 for the longest time, months and months and months and months. And just an ever so slight dip down to $1,050. So still above that 1,000 that we were talking about last year, but I never like to see it go down. So that's where we are. And then days on the market stubbornly high at 73. That's one of the higher ones that we've seen in all of the reports that we report on, which is up 14% month over month, and look at that, up 40% year over year. So that is something to keep an eye on. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's inventory. Well, kind of get a sneak peek at inventory. Inventory is up, jumping to that next data point, 83 homes on the market. What does that mean? Well, it's up 56% year over year. So maybe the secret is out for investors investing in the Anderson market. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Both the number of active homes, are we going to see that stubbornly high? It's a lot higher than it was last year, up 56%. Something to keep an eye on for sure. What's finally encouraging is that you do see a correlation between number of active homes and then the rental price going down. Whereas we talked a couple reports ago about Westfield, made no sense, where the inventory was down, but the price was actually staying the same or going up. So that's at least predictable. So that's I guess encouraging. Average price per square foot, $1.16 for single family homes. Now, if you're investing in Anderson, you might also want to think about apartments, because as you can see, we have 83 active homes on the market. We've got 85 apartments on the market as well. Certainly a more affordable play if we are talking about apartments. Average rental price for an apartment, $830. Typically, those are going to be smaller, which is why you see the average price per square foot for an apartment at $1.49. Jumping down to that bottom left, average rent price trend for the longest time. You could see all the way back to what August was flatline. July was even a little bit up, but back to June of last year. So almost an entire year, we've been sitting at or above that $1,100. And we saw just a little bit of a flinch, a little bit of a decrease here. So definitely something to keep an eye on. It's only $50, but that's 4.5%. So it's fairly significant. Average days on the market, it's up, man. It's up a lot, 40% year over year, up 14% month over month. So that is, again, a little bit concerning here. And then it ties into number of active homes. Thankfully, it's down from where we saw at the beginning of the year. You can see we were at like 105, something like that. We're down to 83, but that's significantly above where we were last year. So I'm not going to say alarm bells quite yet, but it's definitely concerning. Definitely keep an eye on the Anderson market over the next couple months, because these numbers are a little bit alarming.
Yeah, not alarm bells. If we were going to sound alarm bells, that's freaking back in Westfield, okay?
That's back.
Yes. This is just something that, look, we're reporting on this because you guys want us to report on this. Jump into the comment section. I need to know, if you own a property in Anderson, what are you seeing? Are you seeing 73 days on the market? Are you seeing an increase in your monthly rent? I want to hear about it. I need to hear about it so we can talk about it on this podcast. I mean, this is crazy. It like bucks any trend that you would expect. Your average rent price, I don't know what the hell's going on here in Anderson, but I don't know if we need to bleep that or what the regulations are in here, but I don't know what's going on. Why in Anderson, as we get closer to spring, we get people that get scared and they drop the rent down under 1,000, and then all of a sudden it gets back to normal trends, and the rent price will trend up during the warmer months. Your average days on market, it takes a dip, and then now it's like taking this backwards check mark, and your average days on market is trending up. I just can't wrap my head around Anderson. Other than its affordability, right? It's a very affordable market to be a part of. It's one of the biggest reasons why we report on it, because it's an easy market for new investors to jump into, and we want to report the numbers so that you know what to expect should you be putting fresh money here in the market.
It's just something to keep your eye on, especially if you are an investor. I'm not discouraging people from investing in Anderson. I actually just got a text him about a opportunity in Anderson. To me, we talked about this, I think, in the indie market. But to me, if I have limited funds, or if I'm not wanting to put a ton of money into a home, I'd so much rather see somebody put $100,000 into a house in Anderson than $100,000 into a house in like a C-class area of Indianapolis. I think it's a much better use of your money. But the reason that we do these podcasts and these market reports is to educate the owners, keep them up to date with super timely information. I mean, it's June 4th we're recording this, and this is just last month's information. So our owners, our investors can be aware of the most up-to-date information, and you can know, hey, you know what, man, active homes on the market, there's a lot of them. Rental prices are kind of trending down. Maybe I need to be a little smarter. Maybe I need to be a little more aggressive on where I'm going to price my home this year or this month so that we're not seeing 73 days on the market. That's why we do these things, is to educate our owners and our investors so that they have the most up-to-date information to use that to make data-driven decisions. That's why we do it.
That's right. Bingo. Nailed it. All right, moving on to the sales information here. Let's hear it.
All right, sales data. Let's take a look and see how that is comparing to the rental data. So again, probably don't even need to mention it, but here it's under $500,000, which the entire market is under $500,000, so probably not even affected. But average sales price in Anderson is $192,410. That is up 15% month over month. But caveat, April kind of had a weird down month, so I wouldn't take too much in that number. But year over year, still up 10%. So if I take a look at that trend line, it's definitely heading in the right direction, which is really, really encouraging. That's what I want to see as an investor. If I'm getting cash flow and appreciation, man, that is so awesome. Average days on the market, super healthy at 30 days on the market. That is down 43% month over month, down 14% year over year, which is really, really good. Most places we're seeing is up year over year because last year was such a good year for the sales market. So to see it down over year is super, super encouraging. Number of homes sold, 93. We're seeing an increase there, both month over month and year over year. So activity is picking up, and that makes sense because we're seeing more activity on the active homes on the market. So obviously some of this activity here is translating into, or there's a good investor base, and that makes a lot of sense, right? We're seeing more sales, which is then turning into more inventory in the rental market. So this makes a lot of sense to me that Anderson is a hot market right now. There's lots of people buying, putting inventory on the market, but you got to keep an eye on it if it's getting oversaturated. That's what we're trying to determine, right? Is it getting oversaturated? So keep an eye on this podcast to find out what happens in the June report. Average price per square foot, $127 per square foot. And the average price trend, let's take a look at that bottom left graph. Again, a little bit up and down. If I follow the trend though, we're starting at 160 and we're ending at 190. So gosh, that's super encouraging for me as an investor, as a property owner. I love to see it heading in that direction. And then number of homes sold. Wow, you can just quickly see how much of an affordable market this is. This drives it home. Almost all of the homes are under $200,000 in Anderson, and that's where you want to be. This is the market where you want to buy an $85,000 house, put 20 into it, and then rent it back out. Not in a C-class neighborhood in Indy. This is the market that you want to do it in. And we are seeing more and more people do that. So this graph just goes to show you don't need to spend even $200,000 in Anderson. There's lots of affordability in Anderson. So, Chris, anything to add on Anderson?
No, I mean, that's it. What else is there to say? That's the reason we're reporting on it. The number of homes sold, the price point you can enter this market. That's why we're here today. That's good enough for me.
If you want to hear more questions you should be asking, be sure to check out our Watch and Learn tab on the website or head over to our YouTube page for more.